Hello, everyone. My name is Adrian, and for those of you that don't know, this is the month of domestic abuse awareness. This subject is not only a heavy subject for me, but it's also a personal subject for me. Years and years ago, around the age of 18, I hadn't too long graduated from high school. And I met this guy. He didn't live too far from the town that I was living in at the time, but I had never met him before. And actually, it was a day after I graduated high school. The word that I would describe, he was very smooth, is one word. He was very persistent. He came off not only to me, but to my mom and my sister as a good guy. Now, mind you, coming up, I didn't have my dad in my life. So I never was able to actually see what the love of a man really was. So that right there was just a little taste of what I could expect, you know, in future relationships with guys. It was, quite a while we were dating off and on. And initially, it was just kind of firm talk towards me about certain things. He was real jealous and possessive. Didn't really want anybody talking to me. Didn't want anybody around me. It started out like that. The first time that I actually was hit, I was slapped. Me being kind of fair-skinned, it actually, I had some bloodshot on the one side of my jaw for a couple days. Crazy thing is that initially I didn't see that was an issue, because shortly after it was, I'm sorry and that will never happen again. So of course, because at this point I felt like I was, in love at the time. What does me as an 18-year-old really know about true love? But I felt like I was. And so that first occurrence happened, and he apologized and promised that it would never happen again. Well, it did happen again. I even moved in with him and started living with him. Every now and then, little things would happen. I remember one occasion I was actually at his aunt's house with him, and something took place that he wasn't okay with. And I remember sitting on the floor, just casually talking, and all of a sudden, he came up behind me and grabbed me by the back of my hair and kind of drug me through the house. Everyone was trying to, get him off of me. Again, later on, he apologized and came up with this excuse as far as, why he did what he did, or what made him upset, or what I said, or what I did. It was always what I did to trigger his feelings and his thoughts and his emotions. His mom finally found out what was going on, and it wasn't a surprise really to her, because she had gone through that with his dad. I remember when we were living together alone, I remember the first time it really dawned on me and really hit me because I was embarrassed. One of my professors at Troy, she came up to me after class and asked if she could talk to me. And I said, sure. And when I would go to class, I would, try to cover up as much as I could with makeup around my eyes. Or I remember having a busted lip one time, and I tried to wear the reddest lipstick that I could find to try and cover up the bloodshotness of my lip. But it really became like a light switch went off for me when my professor approached me and wanted to talk to me about what she was seeing that was going on with me. And I brushed it off. I just said, oh, no, I'm okay. I'm okay. And she kept persisting that she could get me some help. Well, me being me, I went home and, was talking to him about it or what have you. And it didn't go over real well. My books, I was in nursing school at the time, so my books were being torn up and different things, just trying to keep me from being on the campus, or he would pop up out of nowhere on campus because I was really never allowed to talk to anyone. But it wasn't too long after that, shortly after me telling him what was going on, that, I didn't go to class as much because I was embarrassed and I didn't want people to know what was going on with me. This particular one episode here that really should have taken me out, but it didn't. We had gotten into it one night and he left and didn't come back until the next morning. Well, that next morning when he came in, we lived in a 2-story apartment. So he went upstairs, and I remember going up into our bedroom at the time, and he started ranting and raving as normal. And when that happened, I don't really recall as far as everything, but all I remember was being hit in the mouth. When I was hit, I automatically did a backward flip across my bed. And when I got up, I remember running to the bathroom so I could see my mouth, and part of my front tooth was completely gone. And the inside of my top lip and bottom lip had split. So I'm frantic at this point, and he takes me to the emergency room, and they stitch me up, send me home. Well, I go through these extensive dentist appointments to try and repair what was done. And as you can see today, I wear a crown on the front of my tooth. That's been one of the biggest things that has really, really scarred me, because not only do I have the memories of this, but I have the scar that's gonna always look me in the face when I look at myself. For years, I felt some kind of way about smiling, because it reminded me, and it maybe people didn't know, but I knew, and I was conscious of them seeing my mouth this way. I did this video because, like I said, it's Domestic Awareness Month, and there's so many women that go through this. Not only women, but men. But me being a woman, it really touches home with me when I see other women and I see the patterns of abuse. And it's not always physical, but it can be emotional, where they tear you down, they call you names, they curse at you and belittle you. It's a mental and emotional abuse as well. And it's not okay. Women have lost their lives. I could have lost mine. That gun could have gone off, and that could have killed me. If that bullet had gone off in my mouth instead of just chipping my tooth, I wouldn't be here today. So I want to let you know that it's not okay. It's not okay for a man to verbally abuse you or physically abuse you. And if it's not happened to you, maybe it's happening to a friend of yours. Maybe it's happening to a daughter, a granddaughter, a niece, a cousin, you know. And my reason for doing this video is I wanted to bring a one-on-one type of approach to the situation. We hear about it in, you know, on the news, or we hear about it different places. We see different posts maybe on Facebook about it from people that we don't even know. Today I read where a woman, her husband killed her in front of her children. And all it took was to walk away. You know, some situations are harder than others to get out of, but you can walk away. You know, it took something for me. I was set in the fact that I was in love, and even when my mom was telling me, when friends were telling me, when different ones, you know. And the thing about it is that sometimes it can also be a generational thing, because, you know, my grandmother, she went through that. You know, it just kind of came down the family line. But somewhere it has to stop. You know, don't let it be, don't let it continue. Don't let it be a thing where you're dealing with it, or your daughter is dealing with it, or your granddaughter is dealing with it. You know, bring some awareness to it. Bring some light to it. You know, I hope that through my transparency today, because this is so heavy. It's so heavy for me. Because it's not a day that goes by that I'm not reminded of what happened to me. But I take responsibility for it, because if I had have listened, if I had have only listened to my mom, if I had have only listened to friends of mine that was trying to tell me, if I would have just listened to what I was seeing in the mirror, the scars that I had to walk around and carry, the embarrassment, the shame that I had to endure, things would have been different. They would have been so much different. So today I say it's not okay. It's never okay. That is not love. I don't care how they try to dress it up, put makeup on it, bring you gifts, apologize. It's never okay. Never. And if it had not been for the grace of God, I wouldn't be here today. I could have ended up with kids. And sometimes, you know, when we have children, we feel like that we're stuck, but we're not. We're not stuck. Find you an outlet. Find you someone that you can talk to. I don't know who all is going to see this video. But don't be another number. Don't be another statistic. Don't allow it to happen to you. Ask God to give you strength. And tell somebody that you can trust, that can help you. There's a lot of help out there. And sometimes we're sitting around people, whether it's at work, whether it's at church, we're sitting around people that have gone through what we are going through, and they can be some help to us. Don't be so stout-hearted that you don't accept the help, because it may not be as easy as my situation. It may cost you your life. Another person's issues could cost you your life. It's not worth it. It's not okay. Live. Live and live free. You can do it. I did it. You can do it. Be encouraged. And like I said, I just wanted to share this because there's so many women out there that's going through it. Even if you're a man, don't be so stout-hearted. If you've got a woman that's hitting on you, don't be so stout-hearted that you don't say something or get from under that mess. The enemy wants to take your life, and he'll use them to do it. Be blessed, be encouraged. And remember, it's no bad thing to say something and to get out of there. You've got to leave everything that you know, everything that you have become accustomed to. If you got to walk away from it all, walk away. There's more stuff, but there's never another you. I hope that something I've said and help someone that can help to bring somebody out. I pray. And like I said, be encouraged, be blessed.